Okay, we're green. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It Real, episode 51. I'm going to record the time like I always do, so I know when to stop recording. 2:27. All right. Another day, another episode, another dollar. Here we are talking to the camera. What has changed? Not much. Thanks for being here. Today we are doing this before work. You might be able to tell by the lighting. It is daytime outside. Pretty fantastic if you ask me. I am stoked to be here, stoked to be talking, stoked to see where this episode goes. I have an exciting day ahead of me. It is Sunday, yet I still contacted a lawyer before this episode to deal with my pending court date for reckless driving. I was drifting in the snow, or at least attempting to drift, because that's what you do when it snows here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Stupid stuff. It was an empty parking lot, and I just got unlucky. It really stunk because as we sat there with the lights behind us, we watched other cars continue to drift around us. It's like, really? If only I maybe had picked a different parking lot, I wouldn't have to deal with this headache. But I do. And it is Sunday, so tomorrow I will look out for a call back from the law office that I contacted. I have work today, as you may be able to tell. I'm wearing my uniform. I work at Jersey Mike's Sandwich Shop, and I'm scheduled for 3 p.m. It is currently 1:30 p.m., so right when this episode finishes, I will put my socks and my shoes on, put this belt on, walk out the door with my keys, wallet, and phone, and go to work. I think it'll be a good day today. I'm pending the ownership of a new bicycle, except probably not, actually. I'm getting text. If you were an hour away, I can meet you in the middle if you want. Um, Sorry, I shouldn't be responding to text on air. But I now, okay, so yesterday I thought that I bought a bike, but today it's looking like I didn't. I got my money sent back. He's just very, the seller of the bike is very, up in the air, not sure. It reminds me of a lot of me. So if this deal goes through, it'll be an absolute miracle. But what I think actually is going to happen is I'm going to end up I'm going to end up you know, this is horrible. I'm texting while on air, long moments of pausing. So bad. So horrible. I mean, what could I possibly be thinking? If that phone dings again, I will not pick it up and respond because I am busy. I am making an episode. This is my full attention is towards this episode, what I'm saying in this camera. So today at work, I am going to message a girl. Dun dun dun. And that's exciting. I I thought about what I'd say yesterday night, and right now I'm going to go over it again. I would send the text right now. I just don't have her phone number. It's written on the wall in the office because she was an employee just for about a week, and I was taking a break yesterday, and I was just kind of blank staring at the wall, and then I was like, huh, I remember her. And I thought she was pretty. So I'm going to invite her to a Hurricanes game. The text is going to read, hey, this is Jack from Jersey Mike's, because she has to know who the hell I am. And then after that, I'm going to say, stumbled across your number at work. And then I'm going to say, um, would you like to go to a Hurricanes game sometime, or would you like to come to a Hurricanes game sometime? Probably. Let's see. Go versus come. Go kind of puts us in the same boat because it's like I think it leans a little bit more towards the side of like I would like to go. Would you like to go? But come is sort of like I'll be going. Would you like to come with me? Interesting. Interesting. I have no idea how to distinguish between those two words. So I guess we'll just see what happens. But I'm excited. You know, you never know. She probably has 6 boyfriends. But I don't know, man. You gotta. If you're like me, you're doing well, and I don't know, man. You gotta shoot. Went down. Did I go downtown last night? I did. I did go downtown last night. Very brief. I don't think I spent more than 5 minutes in one location. I went to like 5 different bars or clubs or whatever you want to call them, and then I just went home. I'm really not a big fan of the atmosphere. I don't like how everyone is drinking. I don't drink. I don't like. It's not like. Hold on. It's not that I don't like when people drink. I really don't mind it, but I do. I guess feel a little bit out of place. Because I don't, and like there's bars everywhere, and everyone's like, pre-gamed and with their friends, and I went alone because I don't know. I just feel like I don't. It's Saturday night, and like I'm sitting in my room, and I've gotten a lot of my work done, and I'm just kind of like, I think that I don't want to be in my room anymore, and I want to go where the people are, and I did, and it was fun, and I don't regret it at all, but it is kind of like pushing me to maybe go to like coffee shops or the gym or the library. Like those 3 places, I think I might be surrounded more by people that have better potential to share my same interests. I don't know. I don't know why I say I don't know. I do know. I do know what I'm saying. I think what I'm saying is pretty like, I think if you're listening, you're like, yeah, that makes sense, So I think I see like stopping going downtown as sort of like a step backwards, and I want to, like, if I do take that step backwards, I want to make sure that like I'm also taking 2 steps forward, and I think 2 steps forward would be like me going to the gym, because that's like not between the hours of midnight and 2 a.m. I go to the gym, right? So it's healthy, I get stronger, and I also get to be where the people are and around people. The thing about the gym, it's really, I was going to say for a second there that downtown, it's like everyone wants to talk to everyone and all that. But that is just so not true. I think it's very similar to the gym. I think downtown, people really don't want to talk to strangers, or at least it doesn't seem like it. In my experience, I have at times gone and just sat down at a place for maybe an hour and a half. And like when I've done that, I've eventually ended up talking to someone. It's always been twice I've met a guy, and the first time, both times he was pretty hammered. And it's like, that's cool and all, but I don't even think that either one of those dudes even remember. Well, one of them did remember me because he asked for my number and because I gave him a ride to the gas station. But it's like, I'm not sure that type of situation couldn't happen just at the gym, Like, I've never actually sat down and stayed still at the gym for an hour and a half, I like maybe that would happen. Like the gym has very cool amenities, there's like the sauna, I go play basketball all the time. Basketball is one of the best ways to meet and be connected with people ever. And I think that I really should like try to weave basketball into my day-to-day, because I love the basketball court. I love playing. I love meeting people. I love playing, and I love meeting people. So I really don't know why I would ever think like, oh, I have this hole in my life. Let's fill it with going downtown to Glenwood Avenue. How does that really fix? Or no, not fix. You mean, but like, how, that doesn't necessarily get me any closer to like solving any sort of issue. I think that the basketball really does push me toward like a brighter future because when you're downtown, it's like you just kind of breathe in, breathe out, and exist. But when you're playing basketball, you're forced to sort of be aware of the health and state in which your body exists in. Like if you've eaten like crap and you haven't gotten good sleep, the basketball court's gonna feel like horrible. Horrible. But if you've taken care of yourself, you're gonna notice that, and you're gonna be able to hit your shots, and you're gonna be able to get up and down the court a little bit better. But just this Friday, I went downtown after having not even slept at all the night prior, and I didn't even I had a minor headache at certain parts in the night, but like I totally could just ignore it if I wanted to, and if anything, it made the music and the people and the noise like more exciting because I was in this delirious state, and that's like not good. That like if I went to play basketball without having gotten any sleep the night prior, I would be like, I don't want to do this at all. I would almost throw up, and I'd only last one game. So I think basketball is a good place. But then again, when you play basketball, you don't necessarily have the potential to meet a nice girl. But it doesn't have to be, it's not always about meeting a nice girl. The gym is a good place for me. And basketball is within the gym, and you can meet girls at the gym, I'm sure. I wonder how many guys at this college are packing their bags, getting ready to go to the gym, and like the most forefront thing on their mind is like picking up a chick at gym. And I wonder how that goes over for them. I know that there's like this kind of, I know that there is this sort of culture at the gym that's very social. I haven't like broken into it or I've brushed with people that I think are a part of it, or maybe it's just my mind telling me that. It's a really interesting place, the college gym. It's very packed, very crowded. Speaking of gyms, I just recently went to a new gym. I paid $1 for a 2-week membership with my friend Sam, and he works out. I went to work out with him, and the guy tried to get me to buy a full membership, and now I'm getting nonstop calls and texts from that gym because they want me to sign up. I'm not going to sign up. I might. I can't tell the future, but I don't think I am because I don't have the money for that. Speaking of money, I post these YouTube shorts daily, and I lately have got it in my head that captioning them, like editing the captions onto the video, increases views, increases viewership, and I could check that right now actually while I film this episode, even though I'm not really supposed to. I could, just quickly log into YouTube Studio and see what my shorts did last night. I don't think they did anything extraordinary. Ever since I've started social media, I've started to wane off the idea that sort of one of them here did 400 views. That's pretty good. 2 comments. Cool, I didn't know that, and damn, awesome comments by 2 new people that I haven't even, that I've never seen their account before. That's great, and that's why we do it. My Keeping It Real episode from last night is at 7 views, and my video from last night is at 5 views. That is low. Those are low numbers. I wonder how long my YouTube career will be like this. Am I always gonna be stuck in the 0 to 100 range when it comes to views? I wonder, is this really like how long is it gonna be like this? I'm coming up on a year now. I've changed my style a lot. I'm sort of diving in and finding this style that works for me, but I'm certainly nowhere near concrete yet or solidified. I watched a Ryan Trahan video last night while I was waiting to fall asleep, and it was very interesting. It opened my eyes a bit because he is such a fantastic storyteller. He is such a interesting guy. I learned last night in his video that he started like 6 different businesses before he began this candy venture. And I realized that like I need to do more. I need to start a business. I need to finally start doing stand-up comedy. I need to go on runs. You know, I need to like begin to be the person that like I know that I would really enjoy if I met on a moment out. But you know, I'm sure I'll get there. I'm not worried about anything. Worrying really decreases your lifestyle. I'm driving my. Dude, yeah, I guess I'm not going to buy this bike. Who knows, really? Who knows? He seems like he doesn't really care if he sells it or not, and I'll gladly take my money back because I think I was overpaying. He said he loves that bike. Okay, if you love it, you love it. This is a pretty interesting milestone because in the past I just like try and throw a little bit more money at him and just trying to get it, but like I don't have a little bit more money, especially with this court thing, and like I gotta fix my car, and like I'm about to be dead broke waiting for my next paycheck, so I can't afford to like I would really be squeezing myself if I bought this bike, and I really can't be doing that anymore because I still don't have any savings. Like I need to begin to save. I need to begin to save, or else I'm really gonna regret it. And no one wants to regret anything, you know. So looking at this napkin in front of me, 2 episodes ago, I had an end time of 30 minutes past midnight. Yesterday, my episode ended 30 minutes until midnight, and today my episode ends 30 minutes until 3 p.m. That is outstanding progress. Absolutely outstanding progress. You never want to have this sort of thing to do after work because God forbid you have a bad day at work and then you have to sit in front of the camera for an hour. No bueno. Not ideal. Not what you want. Not the goods. That's bad. So we always want to get this done before work, but a lot of days we'll stay up so late and we'll eat all this junk food that we wake up and it's whatever time it is and we just go back to bed until it's 2:15. And then right when we wake up, we have to get straight to work. We don't have time for a 1-hour episode. But this, if it continues to become a part of my daily routine, needs to be in the right place in my day. And I think that right place is sort of right when I wake up. I think right when I wake up, it's the best time to knock out something like this. Because then throughout my whole day, it's like I think and I said, well, I've done this. And eventually that won't be the case. You know, like when you shower every day, you don't go throughout your day being like, well, I showered, so I got that under my belt. You don't, because it becomes second nature and it becomes part of your life. So after a certain amount of episodes, I'm sure that I won't, think to this activity throughout my day and be like, I did that or I didn't do that and have it, boost or lower my mood. I will certainly think towards it, like, did I do this or did I not do this? But it won't be like, it'll just be a little bit less of a, I don't know how to describe it. As time goes on, things become more concrete and there's less change. So it's just less young. It's more old. You're more used to, Man, I hope I get a text back from this girl and she's like, yeah, I would love to. How fun would that be to just go out with a girl? That'd be so fantastic to take her to a Hurricanes game. I haven't seen the Hurricanes in so long. And I think it would just be really nice, but we'll have to see. I'm very excited at the possibility that she might be open to this endeavor, this this outing. I posted an Instagram reel yesterday where I freestyled to a beat that I made with my own mouth, and it did really well. I wonder. I think it is a form of storytelling when you do that sort of thing. I wasn't first try. I think my first try with the beat, I wasn't recording or something. So I got a second try with the beat, and then my first try with the lyrics, maybe I just didn't like it or I wasn't recording. I don't know. So I got a second try with the lyrics also. But that was it. I only got 2 takes on each one. And when I went to edit it together, I realized that my B-cam from the GoPro had no audio. And I'm so confused at why that is. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe it just corrupted. And then I realized finally that the clip is in slow motion. And when you film in slow motion, there's no audio. I accidentally pressed the slow motion button on the GoPro. So that's not ideal, but it is what it is. I did use the slow-mo clips in like a funny kind of B-roll way. But it's not like what I originally had envisioned for the reel. And I think it's important to sort of be able to adapt on the fly when you're doing something like this, something creative. And I think when I started this especially, I really put a heavy weight on being able to adapt on the fly. I was like kind of determined to be like always in the moment and creative, and like whatever comes to me, whatever I can't do, and just like push everything out, right? But now as I go on, I really am starting to see a deeper need for structure and planning. When you're doing something without having any structure or planning, it can be exciting and create a lot of ups and downs, and it really pushes you towards unreliability, I guess. What's the call to action when we talk about having planning and structure? Well, I don't know. I think as I go, I'm aware of me writing my own story, and you see, what I want my story to kind of be is like, oh, he started because it was fun. He kept going and stayed consistent. And over time, he grew these habits and these things that helped him better accomplish the task that he was trying to. Because that story sounds like good. That story sounds happy. And yeah, yesterday we talked about good. The word good. And how it's kind of a filler word. I was specifically putting it on to analogies. I was saying I make good analogies. And I broke that down yesterday and said, how can you say an analogy is good? An analogy is just simply a comparison using like or as. So to say that it's good is to, I guess, assume that good has a universal meaning. And it just doesn't. It does sort of, but it doesn't, because it's very subjective to the person saying it. Like, and maybe this is only a topic and I'm only pointing out this word in these instances because I've come to the realization that when I throw the word good out, I'm not really aware of it. I'm not consciously saying the word good. Like, let me find a word to portray my emotions and my feelings good. It's sort of just like what's something that you do every day? It's so baked into who you are and your muscle memory that it just is, and it just is what you say. I can't think of one. Maybe thank you in the South, or yes ma'am, yes sir. Like, you're almost not even like, it's not even really a consciously made decision. It's more of like a it's just a filler. And speaking of fillers, I think I'm doing a really poor job at filling the space of the episode, but also I'm proud of myself for doing this. I'm proud that I'm on episode 51, because I know that this is difficult. I know that it's difficult, and I know that if someone else tried to sit in front of a camera and talk to themselves for 1 hour, they may be able to do it, but it would be very, very hard for them to do it this many days in a row. And I don't know. What's the point of me pointing that out? Does it make me feel better about myself that other people might struggle to do what I'm doing? Am I struggling to do this? Yes. So what's the What's the takeaway? Like, why bring it up? Why bring anything up? I mean, I have space to fill and I'm talking. So, like, what makes me talk about some things versus others? I think oftentimes that what do I think oftentimes? I just said that and thought that I would find an answer as I was saying it, but then I realized that I have no idea. And I'm just filling space with words. I apologize if you're listening and you're just kind of like, make a point, bro. Like, what are you saying? I'm not following. What you're saying makes no sense. Maybe next episode I ought to set a timer for 1 hour rather than writing down the time so that I can stop watching the clock. I glance over at the clock quite a lot. Do I want this episode to be over? I don't know, really. I don't know, because I do, I don't want this episode to be over. I think, if anything, I really am enjoying. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't something that I enjoyed. And because I enjoy it, it should be inferred that I'm content in the moment. And I am. I that's true. I am content in the moment. I kind of wonder what might go on at work today. I wonder what kind of videos I'll make when I get out of work. I wonder a lot of things. I got a mind that's always thinking. You know what would be great? This is what I think, actually. When you love something, do you want to share it with others? I guess it just depends. You can kind of separate those two things. But yeah, I will say, I think it'd be great if certain people started doing this. I know a lot of people, and I think for a lot of them, it'd be really fantastic if they began to sit in front of a camera for an hour each day. I think it brings lots of benefit, lots of potential, lots of secureness, and it sort of starts to pour a foundation, at least in my experience, to my life and who I am as a person. I think before I found this video stuff, I struggled a lot with who I was. When I would partake in things like getting really drunk or eating tons of junk food, I think a big motive was because it calmed the side of my brain that had to think rationally. And when I thought rationally, I thought about how I hadn't really amounted to anything. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be able to reach this sort of staircase of secure reasoning where I can say, listen, I've lived, I'm here, I breathe, and I am a person. And because that, I inherently have worth and value. Without, what I'm saying is, I don't think, I think I'd be able to reach that conclusion without the video stuff. But, I mean, there is some overlap there where the video stuff and, this path of sort of self-understanding overlap. So, I mean, it can't be ignored, at least intentionally. Unintentionally ignored. What an interesting concept. If you had a T-chart and it was ignored on the left-hand side, intentionally ignored on the left-hand side, and unintentionally ignored on the right-hand side, which side would be filled with more content? It would 100% have to be the right side unintentionally ignored. Because for all the time in your life that you intentionally ignore something, there's got to be whatever multiplication times the amount of things that you have unintentionally ignored. Like, right now, I'm unintentionally ignoring so many things. Yeah. It's sort of like if there was a T-chart for things that you can talk about and things that you've talked about or are talking about and things you've never talked about. The side with things you've never talked about is infinitely larger. Which actually you can debate this. Because although it might seem finite, you only have a certain amount of time in your life, right? And then throughout that time, not always are you actively talking about something, or not always are you actively intentionally ignoring something. And in the absence of doing so, you're always not talking about something, or you're always unintentionally ignoring something, right? So you think, well, then certainly it's always going to be on the right side of the T chart. But just because I'm talking about something on this episode right now, and when I finish the episode I won't be, and that'll start the clock for me not talking about something, doesn't mean that not talking about something, it's sort of like this, right? When I talk about something, I could maybe be talking about multiple things at the same time. I could, like just because it seems like not talking about something would much outweigh and out quantify talking about something, doesn't necessarily mean it's true. And I think you could, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm trying to play the other side here. I'm trying to disprove my hypothesis. When you talk about something, what is talking about something, right? Talking about something is the act of opening your mouth. So I guess, yeah, if we do rigidly define it as the act of opening your mouth and saying words, I think it can be reasoned. I do think I stick with my hypothesis that you are more likely to not talk about things much, much more in your life than you are to talk about them. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. I like the conclusion I've come to, and I think that I think it's good. I'm satisfied. And I can keep reasoning on it. I don't know. Why is it that we yawn when we wake up? I don't want to yawn. Who likes to yawn? I'll tell you what I do want to do. I want to eat food. I want to eat food, and I want to fix my bicycle. I'm not supposed to do anything other than do this episode when I'm on air, but if that rule didn't exist, I'd go and order more bike parts right now because I need to fix my bicycle. I love riding to work, and ever since I've stopped riding to work, I've just been a little bit more sad, A little bit more sad. I miss my bicycle. And I'm a little bit more sad. I wonder, please let me wonder. Good Lord, man. I'm so done. I'm so out of words, out of content, out of context. I'm just ready to go into my mindless job where I don't have to think about anything. But that's never true. You always have to think about things. It's Sunday, so I'm just so curious. I wonder who may be closing with me on a Sunday. I wonder. Will it be Pete? It could be. I haven't seen Pete in quite a long time. Will it be just me again with someone else? It could be. I haven't seen just me again and someone else in quite a long time. I wonder if my close last night was good. I think it was. It went a lot quicker than the last time I closed with just me and a certain coworker. I don't want to talk about that. I wonder what's going on with my little brother in New York City right now. I can't believe that he just exists in New York City, Make me so jealous. Make me so sad and jealous. I just want to see him in New York City. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, should we sing a song? I'd like to sing a song if anyone wants to listen to me sing a song. What could we sing? What could I sing? I could sing lots of things. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. Hello from the other side. I must have. Okay. Big ego moment, not so humble moment coming in hot right now. I've got to start, as the years go on and we get older as people, I've got to start getting texts and calls from girls. Because there's been a lot in my life. I think more than the average person, it seems. And it's kind of blowing my mind how it seems to me, I know it's one-sided, right, because I'm only inside my head and I'm not inside their head. But it's blowing my mind how it seems like I'm always about to reach back out to all of them and I have to not do it. And yet I never get any texts. I never get any calls. I never get any, hey, just wanted to check in wondering how you're doing. It makes me think like, damn, am I just like, did no one enjoy their time with me? Like, does no one like, like it's like, come on, bruh. Like, why do people not reach back out to me wondering how I'm doing? But that's neither here nor there. That's kind of a stupid thing to say. Like, it's not like what? Like, why would you even say that? Why would I think it's stupid? Why would I say it at the beginning? Let's dive right in. Dissect my words. Let's be critical, analytical, spiritual, experimental, elemental, typical, whimsical, lyrical, cynical, Miracle Whip, SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what I think? I think a lot of things. People don't realize this. I have lots of thoughts. Lots of thoughts go on in my little brainski. I got a little brainski ball full of thoughts. What else do I have? A passion for handstands. I've been trying to handstand lately. It hasn't been going, too well, but it hasn't been going too not well. I like to handstand. I like to attempt to handstand. I watched this. Okay, so there's this YouTube guy, No Cap on God. I love his videos. His videos are amazing. Like, literally, I don't know how to explain it to you. This guy's videos are awesome. He does street interviews. And he has a unique ability to disarm his guests. I think it's his, for lack of better description, gay nature. I think the guy's straight. Well, it actually doesn't matter if he's straight or gay, but he kind of acts a little bit like his wrists have a lot of sass to them. He's also tall and handsome and blonde, so that probably plays a big part in people wanting to speak to him. But he has the mic and, he'll put it to the person's face, back to his face, back to the person's face. And he's just essentially clip farming. If you don't know what clip farming is, it's like you go out into the world or you go anywhere really on the internet, anywhere at all, and you clip certain aspects of anything. I mean, by nature, I'm clip farming. These are just 1 hour long clips of my life. I create these clips, I post these clips, and I hope that the return is nice. I hope that it's of high value. But I think the more traditional use case for the term clip farming is more on shorter pieces of media. And while his videos are actually quite long, I think they range in between 8 minutes and 20 minutes. A lot of the videos are they're interviews. Like it's not like a story. I mean, you can clip anything, I guess. You can clip anything. Yeah, you can clip. So, but his content style scales, right? Like his long form videos are very easily transitionable to short form because all you have to do is clip out one interview from the long big pool, and then you have your own standalone short. A lot of what makes his videos funny is the way he edits. He'll often cut to a new interview, kind of mid-interview. Like somebody will say something and he'll just cut it right away. It's sort of like he takes the voice from people and kind of paints them to be this character. He tells a story also because the interviews always take place in these public events. He'll travel and he'll go to these places where he thinks he might run across an interesting pool of people. His outfit and his demeanor will change based on the environment that he's in. He's very much like a chameleon in that instance. And he's a comedian, you see. So he's very, I don't know, he seems very like seasoned and like ready for anything. But at the same time, it's like he has this leisurely attitude about him where he's not too caught up in any which thing, like any which aspect of the entire process. He's more just kind of like, what can I say to this person? It's like kind of like when you're a 7-year-old or a 5-year-old and you're just sort of like testing your parents, seeing what you can get away with. Like, I want chocolate milk. Like, what can I say and do that might get me chocolate milk? Well, let me think about all the last times I got chocolate milk. And it's like, it's interesting to see a grown man do that in a crowd on YouTube, because you get all sorts of reactions, and you kind of get to go along the journey with him. Like, you get to see different people in different places acting similar. You get to see people, just trying to make everybody laugh. You get to see people that are really, really drunk and probably in a bad place in their lives. You get to see people that are, there's never really, it's all in the edit, because you never know what he leaves out. That's the big thing about YouTube. With these specific things, because I think part of the reason that I have the allure to watch is because it's like there's this real life aspect. Like there's this really happened aspect, and like this is actually like oh, this one he's at like the fraternity lots at a college on game day. Like, hey, I live near college, and like those are people my age. Like, I'm super interested to see like how this goes over. But really, it's not like, why would I want that when I could simply just go to the library and experience it in person? You know what I'm saying? I think my time on YouTube is better spent watching people tell stories. I don't necessarily think that watching this guy do street interviews is as valuable to me as watching Ryan Trahan create a story about which one would he rather live in, the past or the future. I mean, that was a fantastic video I watched. You can tell he's developed this style over years. I mean, it's so effortlessly seemingly put together because by nature, it is effortless. I mean, you got to understand that behind the curtain, it's just a person, their camera, and their editing software. And that is so crazy to understand because when you do realize this and you do think about it, you're like, well, I have all three of those things. So what prohibits me from doing what he does? And the answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. But to be a fool would be to assume that you could accomplish it in a day. You have to be consistent, and you have to love it. If you don't do either one of those things, then you won't achieve what you're after. And what I'm after is what he's after. I mean, he was in, where was he? Italy in the first part of the video, and he just runs into a daughter and mother who the mom is like, I've seen every single one of your videos. I love you. And like, his goal for that part of the segment of the video was to find a friend, and that was his friend. And it's like, how amazing is that? That is what I want to on such a deep level. I want to be out in public, and I want someone to be like, hey, I've seen your stuff. It's so awesome to see you in person. Like that. So amazing. That is so amazing. Why do I want that? I'm not sure. Why does anyone want anything? I have no idea. I'm surprised that this entire hour might pass by with no one coming into or out of the kitchen. Have I mentioned Sam's in UNC right now? He must be, because his car wasn't here when I got home last night, and the only person here related to Sam is this cat, this damn cat. What do I talk about now? I don't know. We talk about tons of things. Could not talk about things also. You ever thought about not? I am considering right now just like, hey, I could just sit in silence for. Is there anything wrong with sitting in silence? I think that it's interesting, right? Because this is called keeping it real. So this is kind of a tie back to that time earlier in the episode where I was talking about how in the beginning of this, I kind of just pushed stuff out. I just pushed stuff out. And I still push things out, but it's funny how lately I've really been trying to like control the quality of the things that I push and control the motion of pushing. You know what I mean? It's interesting to see this kind of adapt and work as I continue it. I'm crawling towards 500 subscribers. At 500, I will be able to partner with the platform, and that will allow me to, I believe, put a button on underneath my videos that says thanks, and you, the viewer, will be able to click and donate to me. How might what I'm doing here change once donations are enabled? I'm not sure. The next milestone is 1,000 subs and a certain amount of watch hours, and that will give me ads on these videos. But the question then there is, will these videos be monetized? I'm not sure. I'm also not sure, how many people I need, watch time hours I need to get a sponsorship, get a company that is interested in paying me to pay me for mentioning their brand. I'm also a little bit interested in, like, do you think it'd be of value to reach out to a couple brands and say, hey, I know that I don't have the numbers you guys are looking for, but I'm wondering if I can give you guys an ad spot in my videos free of charge. And just simply explain that, like, it would give me the experience of reading an ad, and it would, of course, only benefit you. And I'd wonder, like, maybe could you send me an ad read? That I'm sure that would be, that couldn't hurt, right? I don't imagine that would be any sort of hindrance to what I'm doing. But that's sort of like a narrow thing and a narrow alley. And when I look out across this entire journey, I kind of want to do, like, if I'm going to dedicate my time right now to something new, it would be something more like going and doing stand-up comedy, right? Or making another album, or or like vlogging something interesting, or like maybe taking the drone out every day, like things that, like, because there's like a backup of things that I have in my mind that, like, I really need to start doing. So it's interesting because I can't necessarily say that it's of my utmost best interest to do one thing other than the other. But the decision paralysis is not something that I should allow to slow me down. Is this a good podcast? I don't know. It's an interesting vibe because I'm doing it in the morning. I don't, like, this is like one of two that I've ever done before work, I think. I'm not sure I've ever done. Yeah, it's one of two that I'm doing before work. It's interesting. It's interesting because I don't really know, like, how this sort of fits into me and my voice before work. Like, usually I've worked a full day, and, like, this is the last thing that I have to do before I can do nothing, and that sort of, like, it's like just my routine. This is out of routine, I guess. So, I mean, it was already out of routine to begin with. I never filmed myself for an hour on a daily basis like this, but now I've switched it from nighttime to morning time, and then it's like, oh man, even more changes. Like, we already started with a big change, so, like, What gives, bruh? Hey, bruh, what gives? I wonder a lot of things. One thing that I wonder is how wondering can I wonder? I think that 2:16 p.m. What's in store for me at the J Mike's? A coworker told me my beard makes me look like Wolverine. Nice. Wolverine's a handsome dude. Don't mind if I do. You know what I'm saying? Will I shave? I have no idea. One thing's for certain. Well, nothing is for certain. But it is worth noting that this SD card is almost filled. It's got 2 terabytes on it, and it is nearing its capacity. So soon I will have 7 terabytes of footage. And I've filmed much more. I've stopped cataloging my podcast episodes. Obviously, it's an hour each day. So I no longer have to weigh down my storage with all the podcast stuff. I have to figure out why my file sizes are so much bigger on this camera than they are on this big SD. I don't know why it is. Maybe if I filmed for an hour it would be this, but I don't think it's scaled it's sometimes I have like 5 gigabytes worth. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is the same. But I think part of me thinks there's like some file within this camera that like for some reason or some setting that I have for this camera that for some reason just like pumps up the file size is, and the file size affects the transfer speed, and the transfer speed affects my workflow. I love this system that I have going on as of late. I have 2 laptops, so this one deals with the recording of, the editing of, and the posting of the podcast. So it's very little me interaction. Like it's just kind of like plug, drag, click, 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 and then it's loading for 30 minutes, right? And then after that, I click, 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 and then it's loading for an hour, and then I have a live episode, With my other laptop, during those 30-minute, 1-hour loading periods, I'm able to also edit, my Instagram short, my daily YouTube video, my daily YouTube shorts. I really think that it's high time that I start utilizing Snapchat and TikTok. I thought that it'd be a good idea if I just posted literally everything I made in vertical format on TikTok. I don't think anything could necessarily go wrong there, and I think that it'd probably be good for just exposure. And what's wrong with exposure? Like, is there anything wrong with? It's so interesting, right? Because is there anything wrong with posting yourself like that? Like copying content from one platform to another. Is that wrong? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think it is. I think that the only reason I think the biggest reason why I'm not doing it currently is just pure laziness. And that's a horrible reason. And then on Snapchat, right? Snapchat's difficult because right now I don't have social media on my phone. I quite enjoy it that way. I think I like that I don't have Snapchat on my phone. I do wonder I wonder what, like, how can you can't really use Snapchat on the internet. It doesn't allow you to. It's missing a lot of functions. Like I can't link things in my story, for example. And I'd want to, I'd want to link things in my story. Got a lot of fun facts coming out today. One of which is there were only 9 developers on the team for the Golden Eye 007 for Nintendo 64. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of a boring fact, but it's also pretty fun. Coming up on the end of this episode, got 6 minutes left. What is there to talk about that I haven't talked about? I'm not sure. You tell me. One thing's for certain, my beard certainly does feel interesting. One thing's for certain, certainly, certain B, certainty. Should I sing more? I'm losing my breath and talking my steps. I'm listening, regression. You gave that end. You're my depression. Your first impression wasn't deception. You were lying. Bitch, I still love my pill. Advil, you can't feel. I feel, you can't feel. I feel, bitch, I still love my pills. Advil, you can't feel. I feel, you can't feel. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, fell in love with your face off the shrooms. The way it animates your eyes in the room. I can see the stars when I'm gazing at you. Now I see the stars and the stars in the room. Ooh, elephant all in the room. She buried me in my tomb. I'm feeling overconsumed. She walking me to my doom. I'm in the moon. Feeling ridiculed. Don't know what to do. Lost my heart. Don't got shit to lose. I love Juice WRLD. I was actually at Cookout last night waiting for my food, and I hear these guys saying like, yeah, Juice WRLD's awesome, but like it's so corny to like that. And I wanted to be like, Juice WRLD, I love Juice WRLD. He's dead. Why? How dare you say that about a dead man? But I think, what I thought based on their conversation and their tone of voice and like what I observed, I thought like it was kind of just filler. Like, but bro, can I be real with you? I know the episode's about to end, but can I be real with you? Is everything not filler? Like what? Like who am I to say like I'm trying to get to this point where the words that I'm saying are not just filler words? Like how do I define what is filler and what is not? That's the dilemma, because I talk all the time. I talk to people, I talk alone, I talk to other people, I talk to cameras, I talk. And how can I actually say some things are more valuable than other things when it comes to talking? Isn't each word that comes out of my mouth just as valuable as the last? One thing's for certain. When it comes to this episode, this podcast, this series, so far, so good. I am quite enjoying this process, and because of such, I will make sure to continue it. I would like to, maybe I could find a new word, like a vocab word of the day, I could also recommend you songs. I'm going to keep singing to you. I'm sorry. I know that I'm singing, and I know that that's maybe not what you're looking for, but you know what? I like to sing, okay? A guy likes to sing. This is what Donald Trump does. And I told him it's a huge thing. We're going to get it done. We always get it done. My guy, he knows how to get it done. So if you ever need someone to get it done, I always say go to the guy because he gets it done. And we're going to keep going back, going forth. Never go back, always forward. If we ever go forward, it's because we've never gone back. They always say the biggest race, the biggest changes, and the most money. Everybody knows that Donald Trump gets it done. We've got almost 30 seconds. They always tell me, Jack, always 30 seconds. And I say, I know how to do it. I know how to count. I've been there, done that. They often call me the best counter that ever counted. And that's why In a couple more seconds, I will say goodbye, turn this episode off. We'll build a huge, huge wall, make it ginormous. They're going to vote me back in office. I'm going to be the first president to do 3 terms because I'm not a president. I'm a businessman. Everybody knows me. Everybody knows that I do it. I do it good. I get it done. I'm the best. Still waiting for that time to tick to 2:27 so I can make sure I've hit my time quota. Hitting quotas is something I do very well because I'm a businessman. I get it done. I always get it done. Everybody says, who do you go to when you get it done? I say, you always come to me because I get it done. I get it done always, and I get it done good. 2:27. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to build a huge wall today. Make it ginormous, bigger than any wall you've ever built. And stay classy. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.